Hello, this is Ara Shariari, and today we want to talk about why Rome chose Christianity as its state religion. This is a very, very big, um, grand concept to try to deal with and try to break down. But the way that I try to outline this has to do with a direct link of connection of the Jews, that is the Jewish faith, followers of the Jewish faith, and the Persian Empire. So, from the very beginning of the conquest of Babylon, Cyrus encounters the Jews in Babylon. A very cordial relationship forms between the Jews and the Persian aristocracy, that is. Jews become the ardent supporters financially and also uh, socially about the rule and the values of the Persians. Um, this was certainly this favor was returned by the Persians by giving high offices to the Jews, and not to mention the city of Yahudiya that was created in modern day city of Isfahan to try to house a massive number of the Jews who, instead of returning to Babylonian Jews who uh, chose to uh, basically live in Persian territories instead of returning to the Judah. So uh, that being said, uh, Christianity masquerading itself as a Jewish faith, uh, it allowed the Roman, basically government, that is, the Roman Empire, and the head of this body, the Roman Empire, the Roman Emperor, to uh, basically try to gain followers throughout the Persian Empire with minimally causing any trouble for himself, because from the very beginning there was not much of a distinct line and distinction between Christianity and Judaism. Christianity was simply another sect of Judaism. That was how it was viewed, and that was how everyone understood it. As a matter of fact, that is how it is even today. The fact that we like to think of it differently today, as we are um, part of the people, who want to propagate that, and the part of people who want to be programmed to believe that, that doesn't change the facts that it used to be, and the fact that indeed, uh, realistically, that's what it is. So this was a very deceitful uh, agenda that was employed by Rome to try to infiltrate into the Persian boundaries. Uh, Speaking of that, um, Constantine, after adopting Christianity in the state religion of Rome, goes on of declaring himself the supreme leader and the protector and uh, the benefactor of all the Christians in the world, regardless of where they live. Now think about that. Quite of an invention, something that certainly can be considered an invention, and you can uh, relate that to Constantine. How deceitful could that be, trying to manipulate people's belief system to create a empire that goes beyond the borders of your land, and eventually it became what he was envisioning. uh, Romans managed to overthrow the Sassanids in a very deceitful manner, although that branches out to employing also Arabs and collaborating with the Muslim, another creed and sect of Judaism, to join forces and forge their alliance at different frontiers to try to fight the Persians, who, their values are totally different. The monotheistic faith of Zoroaster is by no means comparable, and has no similarity to the the Abrahamic cult, the belief system. The Zoroastrian belief system surrounds nothing but putting duty on the individual to distinguishing between what is right and what is wrong. That's what, a matter of fact, the concept of Dayan means in Persian, or Avestan, better said, the older grandfather of the modern Persian. Dayan means nothing but the individual's attempt to utilize wisdom to try to distinguish wrong from right, goodness from badness. As such, Rome contrived a very deceitful way of trying to utilize the only weakness of the Persians, that it was their religious tolerance, to try to come in. And it's funny is that how these things happen so quickly, especially over the course of 3 centuries, that is. Rome and that Christianity grew, in particular after the other conspiracies that happened among the Byzantine Empire, in particular Maurice, and the Persian king Khosrow. Another implication that was then again speaking of the fact that there was not much of a difference in minds of the people as what really Christianity is, had to do with, speaking of the Jews of Persia that migrated into Iranian territories, was the gaining of their support. So in the eye of these Jews living in Persia, Christianity was not none other than another sect, another clan, who are just they're brothers indeed, in fact, but they're just having their own little differences in their belief system, as it was, and even today, that is, Judaism has 71 different sects, the Essens, the Hasidics, the Pharisees, so many different things that I can't even name. I don't know of all of them off the top of my head, but what I'm trying to get at is that it was a very well understood thing, is that, okay, they're basically, they're on the fundamental level, they're saying the same thing. Who cares if here or there they're different? And why would I want to, as a Jew, not support these people over such people that I call pagans, as Persians who believe in Zoroastrian faith? So in a very skillful manner, such adoption of another Jewish sect as Christianity in a very short span of time proved a very soluble way of trying to overcome and, matter of fact, eradicate the I wouldn't use the word eradication, but to the great extent defeating the Persians. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you following with me. If you like this video, please do like and subscribe so other people can also be informed